This king is having a great festival in which he is drunk with wine and power. The king is so drunk with power that he decides that he wants to have his subjects bring out the gold and silver vessels that the Babylonian army stole from the temple when they displaced the tribe of Judah. The black members of Lomax and Green Valley know something about the history of Arlington when it comes to the practices of destroying people's way of life and stealing their land and sacred artifacts. If it is not clear yet, Daniel 5 is about what happens when the powerful and the privileged abuse their power and their privilege. The lesson of Daniel 5 is that there are consequences when you have the powerful and privileged abuse their power, especially when it comes to the people of God. In Daniel 5, the immediate consequences of the abuse of power take place when a large finger or hand begins to write on the wall. And King Belshazzar calls for an interpreter by the name of Daniel to interpret. When he interprets, the hand says three things. God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. You have been weighed on the scales and found wanting, and your kingdom is divided and given to others. As I prayed about what to say, this is what the Lord gave to me. Ask the Lord this question: what does the handwriting on the wall say about the Hotel Pentagon project? First, the handwriting on the wall says that if this county continues to disrespect and disregard the concerns of members of Lomax and Green Valley, the days of the county as you know it are numbered. The days of the county are numbered when members of Lomax have repeatedly voiced our concern that the project is too big. The days of the county are numbered when 531 units are allowed to dwarf an historic church that's been in existence since 1866 and in its current location since 1874. And we believe that looking at the 4-mile Run Valley area plan, that the plan actually says that no building can be built next to the church that's higher than 45 feet. The days of the county are numbered when the members of this church have repeatedly voiced our concern about the traffic impact of the project, having only one way in and one way out, creating a nightmare on this road. The days of the county are numbered when the county is not even willing to pause the project to allow a more adequate traffic study. The days of the county are numbered when the county won't commit to a timeline for building the Shirlington Road access road onto the project. And the days of the county are numbered when the county won't even pursue a VDOT related solution. The handwriting is on the wall that the days of the county are numbered. But second, the handwriting on the wall says that the process used by the Planning Commission to recommend that the board approve this application has been weighed on the scales of justice and found wanting. Found wanting because there's a difference between following the letter of the law and following the spirit of the law.
Come on now.
Found wanting because the Arlington Planning Commission has followed the letter of the law as it relates to this approval process, but ignored the outcry from the community. Found wanting because there are too many members of Arlington and Green Valley who had no idea that this project is on the precipice of being approved. Found wanting because the Planning Commission refused to pause the approval process to allow for an adequate traffic study to be done. Found wanting because the Commission refused to pause the process because there is a clear lack of community benefit that no one really wants to talk about. Found wanting because only 1.6% of the units in this unit are for affordable housing. That is abysmal and you can't move forward with that. Found wanting because the alleged Glebe Road traffic improvements allegedly that will take place will be offset by the new gridlock caused by 531 additional units. Third and finally, the handwriting on the wall says that if this application is approved in its present form, that the board will continue to add to the divided kingdom that we know to be Arlington. There's a divided kingdom between north and south, between those who have access and those who don't, between non-blacks and those who are gentrifying the community, between those who are historically black in Green Valley. The handwriting is on the wall. As I end my remarks, my final question is this: is the handwriting on the wall really saying that today's hearing is a vote, simply a charade to make us think that you're really considering us? Or will you prove to us that the handwriting is not on the wall about the approval of this project? Thank you.